Look at that. Mountain starting to poke through the fog. You know, there's some crazy lunatics that ski down the face of that thing in the winter when there's enough snow. I think a handful of people died up there too. Actually, people die in the mountains around me here, us, in our community all the time. We're in, I think Pemberton has been considered the #1 snowmobiling destination in North America. One of them, very popular, and the snow load's crazy, the mountains are crazy, and many, many people die here. Just a couple guys, local guys died just a week ago, pretty sad. And then of course we got Whistler Blackcomb, voted the international award-winning #1 ski destination in the world numerous times. And almost every year, 2 or 3 or more people go out of bounds, go missing, and end up found dead. It's the mountains in winter can be very, well, they're ruthless, they're harsh, they're nasty. They'll gobble you up and spit you out in a second. You really got to be aware of what you do and where you go. Anyway, let's get some emails shared while I'm standing here. And it's the month of January, you guys. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to do this as often as I have this next while, all right? I'm just not going to. It's very, very, very time consuming. Okay, listen to this. Hi, Steve. In 1974, my little brother and I went fishing at a little 30-acre quarry that flooded in the 20s, just north of Antioch 2, Saturday morning, just into Wisconsin. I was 15 years old at the time. I always went down there fishing for the big bluegills, and my dog always came with. It was on the northeast side of the quarry, where there was no houses. While fishing there, I did notice a nasty smell, but I just figured it was dead fish. And while fishing, we did hear some noise in the forest behind us, and a few times called out to the dog, which never came out, which was strange. But we live a mile from there. I just figured she went home. At about noon, we walked back around the side of the lake and came to the old farm, where you could rent old wooden boats to take out fishing. My brother looked back and said, "Look, that tree moved." I said, "Oh, bullshit." But looked, was around the corner of the lake about 150 yards away where we were fishing, and it did move. So we both watched it. And it picked up a log and threw it in the water with both hands over its head. We saw the splash. Then it stopped and looked at us. We looked at each other for about a minute, and then it walked off into the forest. So we went home a little bit shaky. The next morning I told my dad what we saw, and he said he heard loud crashing through the cornfield that night across the road from our house. The next Monday at school, I told one of my buds about it, and he told me to tell Pat my story, another buddy, so I did. He said that him, Skip, and Jerry were driving home down a 6-mile-long gravel road, no houses, except for 8 houses at the end of the road by the lake. They were driving to get home late Sunday night, and they saw him cross the road in front of them. That was about 8 miles south of the crow's flies, away from where we saw it the day before. So 2 weeks later, there was an article in the Chicago Tribune. I believe it was the same name of the newspaper, and the article said there was a sighting of a skunk man walking along the railroad tracks. I forgot the name of the town, but Jolie 2. Oh, Jolie 2 sticks in my mind. Joliet 2 sticks in my mind. That reported the sighting of it. The town was 30 miles southeast of Antioch. Antioch? Or Antioch? Whatever. Thanks, love to hear about other sightings, Ray. Okay, Ray. Thank you for sending that email in, man. And obviously, I guarantee there's going to be somebody from that community watching this channel, without a doubt. We got, what, 3 million views a month here. I think we probably got almost every single city in North America covered, right? And I'll bet you somebody's going to email or comment about what you just emailed in the comment section of this video, or else they're going to email me. I'll guarantee it. It's crazy how frickin' popular it is. It's endless. What's this one? Here's the next one. To begin with, congratulations on surviving 2020. We that have are truly blessed. We live in Eastern Oregon and spend most of our time in the mountains. My wife and I have had multiple Sasquatch experiences, 2 that I sent you when you first started on this project. I'm sure they're lost in the original shuffle and bulk of emails. I'll update those emails at a later time. The point of this email is that her and I attended a Bigfoot seminar 2 years ago. The main speaker was Dr. Jeff M. I've been hesitant to attend seminars or share proof since the late 70s when experiences first started. Therefore, we had not shared any information. But my wife talked me into attending this one at our local park. Since the highly personally acclaimed Dr. Meldrum was going to be available to talk and discuss the subject of Sasquatch, you are 100% correct. He would not veer from Sasquatch being other than a prehistoric ape, when there is absolutely no proof whatsoever for this scientific theorem. The ones we have seen are definitely human in facial appearance, Patty Patterson style. The point of this email is that we have lived and worked around Mount St. Helens in the Pacific Northwest since the 70s, and heard the stories of the military guarding dead piles of Sasquatch dredged from the river after Mount St. Helens erupted. My wife posed the question of this dead being taken by the government to Meldrum, and he promptly laughed and belittled the idea. As he did so, someone up front yelled for her to never back down. Oh, good for them. Needless to say, we left the seminar, shared none of our proof or info, and gained a serious disrespect for Meldrum and his groupies. And we'll probably never attend another of that type of group seminars. I've noticed that since you've announced, but not before you announced, that Sasquatch do contain human DNA. That just in the past year has been released on TV by 2 sources that Sasquatch may contain human DNA and may be a human hybrid. We just want to thank you for what you're doing, the time you're spending, and the people you're helping. I believe you're helping push the establishment to eventual release of information. We have a small horse ranch and feel your pain for loss of macaroni. We've had many of our past horse herds and dog packs buried on our property. I truly believe that someday we'll once again meet our horse herds and dog packs, as well as our loved ones that we've had through our lives. Sincerely, Al and Leslie Davis, Eastern Oregon. Thanks for that email, Al and Leslie. It's fine. I've had numerous emails with the exact same flavor. Excuse me, I don't know what's going on in my throat. Got a little bit of a frog in there. But going on the doctor, you know, I don't hate anybody. There's a couple names out there in the Sasquatch community that I really don't like, and I'd love to meet up with them with no witnesses behind the barn sometime, for sure. As far as the Dr. Meldrum dude goes, I don't hate that guy, but I definitely would like to, what I would like to do, not him with numerous people, is just to show all of you exactly the damage they have done to the topic and the damage they've done to thousands of people who have had these unexpected, unrequested experiences. All right? They know these things aren't monkeys and apes. They know it. I believe, I don't know, don't quote me, allegedly I heard that he is a Mormon, and that would actually go against his religious beliefs to be able to publicly state that these things are a type of human. So you might want to take that into consideration when you hear this guy talk. And another thing, not only him, but numerous other people, for me, as soon as I see a face or a few faces try to get in front of those television cameras as much as they can, my red flags go off big time, because it's telling me something about them. All right, it's telling me what motivates them, what they're after. And especially one major clue when it comes to this topic for me is if I actually give a, say as an example, a YouTube channel sometime, somebody's YouTube channel sometime, I'll watch it, and I'd say it will take me about, I don't know, 3 minutes, maybe 6 tops, to realize what their motivation is and exactly what they actually care about. Now, if somebody's freaking pissed off that the majority of us are being misled and lied to, they're going to say it all the time. It's probably going to be one of the first things they say, right? If they're frustrated and absolutely concerned with the fact that there's tens of thousands of innocent human beings out there, good people, who have had their lives trashed because of seeing these things, and they're trying to rectify that and help those people, you're going to hear it coming out of their mouths nonstop, and it's going to be coming out of their mouths from the first time they put their ugly mug in front of a video camera. Show me I'm wrong, right? So I guess I'm probably just saying that to let you guys know that there's not very many people I listen to when it comes to this topic. Not too many. People who I do listen to, I like to watch them. I like to watch and learn from them. A lot of people don't speak and don't share publicly everything they know. But if you watch intelligent people, watch them, listen to them, see what they're actually focusing on in life today. All right, and I'm going to use it just as an easy example. is Dave Politis. I got huge respect for him. Honest man. Past law investigator. And he wasn't a Bigfoot Sasquatch enthusiast, and he barely is right now. But he was approached to investigate the topic, and he found out on his own that they are very real. And he also is responsible, partly responsible for obtaining over 100 DNA samples, which all point to human hybrid. There's no way getting out of it. Now, I want you guys to look into yourselves and tell me exactly how many times you've seen David Politis running through the woods at nighttime, banging on trees and whooping in the night. How many times have you seen that very, very intelligent man do that? 0. Why is that? What's he focused on now? Where does he put his time and effort now? What's his message now? See? You see what I'm getting at? I watch the people who know, the intelligent people who know and truly care, and I watch them. I see what they've done, what they have done, what they've delivered to the public, what they do with the public, what they do with the public eye, in the public eye. And I try to see exactly what they are focusing on themselves at this stage of the game. Picking up what I'm putting down? So what I'm saying is, the people who I find more intelligent than your average cookie, they aren't running around going on Sasquatch expeditions. They don't hang pheromone chips in the forest like they're dealing with a wild animal that goes into the rut. They're not banging on trees, they're not whooping in the night. Why is that? What are they doing now? See what I'm saying? And for all of you potential researchers out there who might fit the category I just mentioned, that's why I poke you guys. That's why I poke you. I'm not out just trying to intentionally insult you. I'm challenging you. I'm trying to get you to pull your head out of your ass and move forward instead of staying stuck in that circle. Follow the lead of the intelligent people. Don't follow the lead of the TV camera hungry douchebags. All right? They're just show people. They're out there to make a buck, create a following, and make a name for themselves. And that's it. Unfortunately, the majority of the people in the Bigfoot Sasquatch community are doing the same thing. It's easy to see. They stand out like a sore thumb. Okay? Anyway, man, listen to me babble today. I spent the entire day inside working indoors. Maybe that's why I'm babbling like a dork right now. What else do we got? Questions. Hey, Steve. I love what you're doing in your YouTube channel in regards to Sasquatch. I love the hunting stuff, too. I understand your frustration with wondering why we're being lied to about it by those in power. You've read my story, Oklahoma Sasquatch. However, there is a huge elephant in the room nobody's talking about, which is, what if they did, then what? My point being that let's just say that governments were to come out and fully disclose the acknowledgement that Sasquatch really exist. Let's say they even go so far as to tell us everything they know about them, which might not be much. Let's just say they disclose the Sasquatch are a type of humanoid creature that lives all over the planet, especially North America. They tell us about the range, size, habitat, and even intelligence. They go on to explain they didn't know where they came from or how long they've been here, or even how they're able to so easily evade humans, us. What if they even outline safe outdoor interaction with these beings, or warnings of what could happen if you do the wrong things in the wilderness where they live? What then? You see, my point is that even if they stop denying, stop the cover-up, stop the labeling and shaming of people who have had first-hand experiences of these creatures, what would it change? For those of us who already know most of that stuff, nothing at all changes. And for those who have called it a hoax, would they even believe what the government said? Would those people say the governments are just trying to scare us out of the woods for some reason? Don't get me wrong, I'm with you on the frustration, but from a very logical and rational standpoint, I can't figure out what good it would do anyone if they stopped hiding it from us. At this point, I guess, I just don't really give two shits what anyone else says or believes, because at the end of the day, I know what I know, or don't know, if that makes any sense. I wonder if such a government disclosure might even do more harm than good to those who don't believe or are on the fence. Would millions of people then develop a fear of the outdoors? Would fewer kids take up hunting, fishing, and camping in the wild? I think what you're doing, letting people get the stories off their chest, is the most beneficial thing to be done. Letting them know they aren't alone and don't have to give up on things they love to do in the great outdoors. At any rate, I appreciate your no BS approach, intellect, and courage on the matter, and would love to hear your feedback on this. All I know is that as an avid outdoorsman, I'm not giving up on my passions for any reason or anybody, just like you. Not sure if this is a subject you want to tackle on YouTube or what, but if you feel like it, it's a valid question, and you want to share with your audience, you have my blessings either way. Looking forward to hearing back one way or the other. Please regards, best regards, and best of luck in all your outdoor adventures, Phil, Kansas, USA. Good questions, Phil. Kansas. I've hunted Kansas. You guys got some big whitetail there, man. Bigger than I realized. I used to go in the World Turkey Hunting Competition in Racine, Kansas for a few years. I like that state, and I met a lot of good people there. Now, the government. Well, first off, I don't know if maybe you missed it, but personally, I don't give a shit about the government. I have zero respect for the government. Nothing. Let's face it, the United States has their own political problems, but I mean, take a look at what we got to deal with. We have a silver spoon-fed little imp who his only qualifications and skills in life was a snowboard instructor and a drama teacher, and that's it. And they stuck that little prick in the position of being a so-called leader of a country. Okay, I won't even start going down that road. But let's just say I don't care what the government thinks. Never have, never will. We don't need them. The moment all of you realize that we have the power, we are what's important. We are the only ones we need to share knowledge with, not the government. We screw up by giving the government or anybody else authority over us when it comes to various topics. That's why I always try to tell people, who cares what anybody thinks, and quit looking to another human being for answers and giving them the pedestal of having authority over you or authority on a topic. Just quit it. We all have to learn for ourselves. And that's why I believe what I'm doing with this channel. We have literally thousands of people, good, hardworking, honest people, sharing with us their experiences. And that is should be the number one and only way we acquire knowledge. All right? Because what I find is, as soon as you give somebody or a government the authority, they abuse it. Human beings can't handle that power. They can't. It makes them drunk, and they just go off on opportunistic routes. That's very easy to prove. Now, what if, let's just say whoever is possibly in control of the knowledge shared with the community or a country, let's just say they did acknowledge the existence of these beings. What good would it do? Well, I firmly believe the good it would do, first off, it would allow innocent people, to make choices for them, whether it come to where they want to go camping for that weekend, where they want to let their kids play, where they want to purchase a house, where they want to go for employment, where they do or don't want to go armed or unarmed to protect their family. I think that's very, very important. That's a very important point, I think, of how we would benefit if these things were publicly acknowledged to society. What else? Another thing for me too is it's not just about these things. What I feel that the Sasquatch topic is possibly one of the easiest examples to show everybody that there is much, much more going on around us and where we live. I think the Sasquatch topic is probably the easiest way to show everyone that we are being lied to, and we are being manipulated, misinformed, and misled. At this point of the game, I'm pretty certain that our education system is a sham from the second we go there in grade 1. That's just me, though. You gotta look into yourself and form your own opinion, right? So, the Sasquatch thing, I am not myself personally, I'm not tunnel visioned on Sasquatch and the Sasquatch topic. My brain is probably a few levels beyond this topic as I go and I learn for myself. But in the meantime, the casualties that I'm aware of, excuse me, but meanwhile, the casualties that I'm aware of good, honest, hardworking, innocent people is not acceptable. It's just not acceptable. So as I'm going on my ride of getting knowledge and experiencing and living, when I'm going to help as many of those people as I can. That's just what I'm going to do. Nobody's going to be able to stop me. And I think that's very important. So if hopefully you don't think that what I'm trying to do is get mainstream to accept the existence of these beings. Mainstream is the enemy right now. Mainstream media, news sources are the enemy. If not even just the entire educational system is probably the enemy as well. Again, my feelings. So I don't need anybody to publicly acknowledge these things. I just don't. I have a feeling my voice, other voices like Carpenter's voice, David Pilatus, numerous other people. I gotta go down the name column for a ways. Is people like that are getting the honest truth out to all of you who are curious of the truth and need assistance. That's what this is about. Mainstream acknowledgement, who gives a shit? Who cares? Doesn't matter. You know, as an example, I flew into Montreal at nighttime a week ago, I think. Flying over Montreal, looking down, seeing the traffic and the people, the buildings, a huge concrete jungle. And one of the thoughts I had was, wow, look at all those people down there. That a topic such as this will never, ever, ever be on their plate, have no value to them whatsoever in their lifetime. It just won't. So that's another way I think about it. I see it is the amount of people on the face of this planet where this topic just will not matter is pretty substantial, right? So again, why would you even want to lead a crusade to get this topic publicly acknowledged? It's kind of a waste of time. And the majority of people are so brainwashed and misled, they would never be able to accept it anyway. They just wouldn't. And the examples of that, sadly, in mainstream are pretty prevalent as well, right? So no, I think for me, the benefit is just to help my fellow person understand what it is they experience so they're not deemed crazy, so they don't lose their marriage over it or lose their job, the respect for their children. They don't lose their passions for the outdoors. And once again, they could possibly gain the confidence to enjoy their home, the rural home, the property, without having to pull the stakes up and move to the concrete jungle, which is so unfair. It's ridiculous, right? So that's, I think I'd have to go back and read your whole email in case I missed out a couple of questions from you, man, but hopefully I covered exactly what you're getting at with my retort to those questions. But I think that's very important. People got to start standing together. People need to understand that we're the people. We are who counts, and we need to support each other and share knowledge with each other, because that's the only place we're going to get honest knowledge from each other. That's it. Anyway, there you go. How's that for a little bit of a babble?